Hello, everyone. Can y'all hear me? Glad to see y'all in here. Uh, we're here tonight with the Tracker Training 101. We thought we would go back to the beginning. Hey, Las Aventuras, Tanya, and Jose, CT, JR. Glad to see all of y'all. Tonight, Tracker Training 101, we're going back to the beginning of just the basics. We thought this would be a great place to start since we have so many new viewers. And our verse for tonight is 2 Timothy 2:15. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. 2 Timothy 2:15 is our verse for the night, and that's part of what we're doing for tonight. A lot of tracker training begins right here first with the knowledge that we will give you here before we ever even head out. We have 3 Facebook pages: Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, Antlers and Surrounding Areas, Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMBMAN, and Sons Center and Database, and also the Lead Tracker E Facebook page. We invite y'all to join those too. And then we have the Lead Tracker E YouTube channel, which also mirrors some of the videos that are on here and has some that are different. Sound is clear. Yes, we'll be sharing the headphones tonight. So it will, hey, Lamont Cherie, we'll share the headphones tonight, so it's not so hard for y'all to hear. And we thank you for being here. Let's see. Our email is capital J Jerry Williams 1927 at outlook.com, and Lead Tracker E, all lowercase, at gmail.com. And our post office box is 655 Antlers, Oklahoma 74523. What else? Our Cash App is on the screen. If you want to order the DVD, which is the shortcut through all this information of these classes that we will have, then that's you order that. That's it for me. Oh, let me do the prayer real quick before we switch the headphones over again. Father, thank you for just allowing us to be here tonight. Thank you for the people that are here. We take this responsibility seriously. We ask for your protection. We thank you for your protection that we know is already here over all of us. And we know that this information is going to continue to get out. And we just thank you and we love you in Jesus' name. Yeah. Okay.
Good evening, everybody. We're going to have a tracker training course tonight, a class. So if we can, we want to make sure that everybody understands that the stream before was where we answered any question that you had, because we was getting our chat all over the place and people talking about other things like that. And it was interfering with what we was talking about. So we just had our own one day of everybody asking whatever they wanted to talk about, whatever they wanted to ask. And we had a great time there. We answered everybody's questions, and we actually had our trackers and the people who have the Bigfoot DVD, which everybody should have if you need this. But our trackers and viewers, the people who had the DVD, were answering what we call normal people's questions. The questions that, and the DVD has more answers than the questions that were even asked. And we wanted to, give someone a question that is more advanced than what they were asking, but that it's in the DVD. And that would have started us with a whole different thing. We just wanted to answer everyone's questions, whatever they needed, just so we can get back to teaching and training. That's what we're doing tonight. We're starting over with some of the tracker uh, courses. These are the courses that we share when we have our camp. And we haven't had that because we've been too busy. But usually we would have a month camp of training trackers. Um, and that's a very serious and but we can work around a lot of things. But we did want a lot of people trained. We do have a lot of people trained, but we want to go back over with some of the new people. Um, if you're going to be doing some research out there, you need to be a tracker. For the first, the first thing, you need to be a tracker. You need to know warrior ways to be out there. It's not a joke out there, and some people get lucky, which is great. And I would say that's divine intervention when things happen and they still make it home. But don't, I mean, well, go ahead and depend on divine intervention. Always depend on it. But this is preparation, and we don't want anyone going into the field until you, like our people, whoever's with us, and they're going to go training with us, or other people want to do research. We're past research. But when people want to go out, we'll go out with them. But uh, we've got a lot of new people. But before we would train, we would um, have our conversations. We would use this as a meeting place so we could go over the things that we're going to go over tonight with you also. It's a course that everyone should know. So if you, and this can go to your children too. Your grandmother could use it, and some grandmothers have used these techniques in tracking and training, and it's helped them. It's saved lives. All this training, and you can ask any of our trackers. We train. We have this conversation. We talked to some trackers today and yesterday. They wanted us to check out some spots for them. We got to stop in and see Tracker M today on the way back in from another spot that we had to run an errand, and we was in the area. But all of our trackers, all of our people will tell you it's they know what to look for, and it's no joke out there. People will walk right past these things. They'll go camping right where these things have bows or bins or blinds. And our trackers, uh, we need more. We need more people with this preparation, with this knowledge, to be watching out for the rest of them, because the people who don't know don't know. They don't know to prepare. They don't know to get ready. If that, I mean, we talked to some people the other day who they don't even know about Bigfoot. There's some people who know a little bit about Bigfoot. And we're going to talk a little bit about another friend tonight, too, who moved into an area called Green Hill Monster Road. It's a famous place. It's in Tallahassee, Oklahoma. There's multiple Bigfoot sightings, cryptid sightings, every kind you can think of is over there also. But it's like that everywhere. But a young man who didn't know anything about Bigfoot, came from the city, moved in with his cousin in that area. He knew us. He trusted us. We always told him the truth, just to have him aware. Because, like I said, he never seen a Bigfoot. He never seen anything like that. So, coming from the city, he didn't know anything about it. And he was still acting like he was from the city. He would be walking through the woods at night. That's also in that documentary. He's on the thermal walking through the forest where we have 4 hot spots, and he's walking from a friend's house, and we catch him on thermal, and we get him to come out, and it's in that film, in that documentary. He comes out to the film and starts looking through our night vision. He starts looking through the thermals and listening to what's going on out there, and he realizes we're surrounded. There's Bigfoot's creatures, dogmen or walking wolves. They're all around us. And then you can also, in that same documentary, in the Bigfoot documentary, that same young man, when another guy walks up, only because he didn't know either, he was walking in the dark too. He surprised the other one, and you can hear how scared he is or how startled he got because he was watching through the night vision and through the thermals. Now he could see that we were surrounded. You could see the eye shines everywhere. You could hear the sounds, everything going on, and he got nervous. But then again, this person has never seen a Bigfoot at that time. Since he was in the documentary, we did give them a free DVD so that they could see it, and that we did do documentation in their area. So they watched the DVD, and this young man had his first sighting about a month ago, but they've been giving us some reports. There's a lot of activity again happening. An uptick is happening again. TrackerElla also give us that same update. The uptick, it's happening again. They're on the move again. Be careful out there. But this young man had his first sighting, and we'll talk about that also. But tonight we're getting back to training, and we need everyone to be respectful and just listen. And we'll try to get the subtitles on here into Spanish afterwards. But we're going to do some training, and this is like TrackerElla said. This is preparation. This is the first preparation before you go into the field. Before you start doing your research, actually, before you do your research, I would say take this course, get the Bigfoot documentary DVD. The captions are on here. Cashapp's on there, and just listen to what we're saying. If you go into the field like we do, you're going to make it out every time. You're going to be safe every time. But we want everyone to be that way. And also, like we were saying a while ago, this is something you can share with your children. You can have them come and watch and listen to what we're saying. And it's to teach everyone. And this is how we would teach our warriors. But we would start with, when they were babies and young ones. We would be teaching them all this tracking skills, what to look for, what to listen for, so that they would be prepared and they would know about Bigfoots. Even if they hadn't seen one, they would know because we're training and tracking. And even if they don't see them, they're going to find the prints. They're going to find the scrapes. They're going to find the blinds because we tell them and teach them where to look. So everything you're going to learn tonight, very important. But this is the first step to getting out into the field, to do it safely, and to make it back home every time. So I'm going to have TrackerElla begin. And also, now this is the first step, but I would say this is the first physical step. How about that? I like to let TrackerElla do all the spiritual. She's very strong spiritually with Jesus and God. So when she talks, she's talking directly to the entities, and she gets answers left and right, and it's always what she needs, and it's always at that perfect time. And so we don't worry about anything. It's going to be there, whatever it is, whatever. And if we need help with anything, something will happen and show up, and it just works that way. So I'm going to start with this first photo, because even though we start this preparation, the spirituality has to be there too. And you got to know spirituality and entities and demons and Bigfoots and cryptids. It's all together. So you have to know everything. You have to have your spirituality intact. You have to have your armor on. Um, and I know all of our trackers do. Um, they're always prepared. Spiritual people. They know they can see these things. So I'm gonna start off with this first picture, and then we'll have Tracker E kind of give us a start. But the first picture, I just want to show you, and then we'll move to the second one. That's that one. Actually, that one.
Okay. These are just these are pages out of our tracker notebook, out of our tracker book that we take with us, and we make notes all along our journeys. And this page is just a reminder to go out with confidence. The power doesn't come from you, the power comes through you. And it's if you're using God's power, he's perfect. You don't have to be perfect. He's the all-powerful. You don't have to be, and you have to remember that it is his power. So when it's the Lord rebuking the demons, it's the Lord rebuking the unclean spirit. It's not you, it's that power coming through you. And so this is just a reminder. Oh my, this is what they sent to me. I'm almost offended. Why? You're not challenging the demons, but you go out with confidence, and your faith is strong, and prepare yourself with the whole armor of God. And I think just about everyone that watches on this channel regularly knows exactly what the whole armor of God is, and you can look that up. We've done whole shows on it before, but that's what we're talking about there, preparing yourself spiritually before you even go out pray. Is this even something that we should do? If a lot of things happen that morning, say you wake up the morning and you were supposed to go track that day, but now you've overslept and this has gone wrong and that has gone wrong, and pay attention to those things. Those are signs that just slow down, step back, maybe, pray about it. Make sure you're supposed to go out because you may not supposed to be. And then other times it could be other people telling you, don't go out. There's going to be a terrible storm. It's going to be awful. You're all going to die. But you prayed about it and you feel a confidence. God's telling you, go here. You just need to have a close relationship. Don't count on us to have you close to God, and don't go to your preachers for spiritual guidance, but you have that relationship with God yourself. That's where your faith comes in. There are people that don't pray for themselves, but they'll go ask someone else, will you pray for me? That's good. Let's pray for each other, but also teach them, you pray for yourself. You have to set those intents. You have to let God know that you need him, and that's what that's all about. So
let's see if I got this.
which one? Which one?
Where he said, sent the people to fight.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yes. Oh, yeah. This was a great point. It's just a note, just a random note I found as we were talking, and we'll sit around. We kind of never stop talking about these subjects. It's a continuing thing, day and night, if we're awake. But it was, God didn't send. He sent humans. He sent us out to destroy the giants. He's given us that power, and that's something to keep in mind too. When you feel vulnerable or weak, remember he used us, and he used many times the most imperfect human beings to do it too, because he could mold them and shape them and have some confidence, and that's what.
Leaving David Goliath.
Okay, we go.
I was just saying, even just thinking about David and Goliath and killing the bears, lions, um, being in the jails with other creatures, being in the den of lions, being in all these places, and these people knew they was going to be okay. So that's the same way the spirituality is whenever we go into the field. We know we're going to make it back. We know we're going to be okay. We're prepared for everything. Um, we've done trained. And this is what we're talking about too before you go out there. We've done trained. We've done said our goodbyes. Warriors, that's one of the things we have to do. You have to tell your whole family. You have to tell your wife. You have to tell your child. If this is something you're going to do, and not only that, but when these times come, it's not going to be just men, warriors fighting. It's going to be every man, woman, and child. It's going to be every animal, every good animal on the planet's going to be fighting. It's it's going to be chaos everywhere. But if you're if you're prepared and you're trained, you're going to make it. And just like us, we always say we're always going to make it. It don't matter. We'll make it. Um, we have trackers who know they're going to be okay. That's how they go out. We've had trackers who've had to go eye to eye with these beasts, these creatures, and they are still here. They have that armor of God. They have that. It's past faith. They know they're going to be okay. They know they're taken care of. And that's the way we want everyone to be prepared. Have that preparation. When you go out there, you know you're going to make it back. You know you're going to be okay. And if something happens, you're prepared for that. So we're going to talk about
Can I say one thing about that?
okay, just one more thing. Sorry.
I just wanted to say on that, for when he says to say your goodbyes, I didn't understand that at first, but what that means is you don't leave things unsaid. You don't leave unfinished business. You don't leave, oh, you're out there, and this applies to everyone in life. When you walk out that door, you know how quickly you can lose someone. Don't count that they're going to come back. Say what you need to say so that if an important moment comes, you're not wasting your time worrying about, oh, I should have done that, or worrying about that. You deal with what you have to deal with. You can remain focused. That's why that's so important. And it's also so important if there is appointed time for everyone, and if it is our appointed time that God calls us to the next thing, we don't need to hesitate. We need to be able to go directly with him.
So that's the preparation, warriors. You have to say goodbye to everybody. Now, also in that preparation, when you say goodbye to somebody, reminisce. Go back to the first time you met that person, even if it was your child. Go back to the day whenever that child arrived. Go back to and share all those times, all that love. Let that person know they were loved. Let that person know how you felt about them. Reminisce, go through it. And finally, you're going to have to get to the part where you're going to have to say goodbye. And let them know it's goodbye. Because, there's researchers, there's people like Tracker, you were saying, you can go out your front door and have an accident or something. And that's two different things, but it's still the same thing. Because we know something could happen out there. And we've already said goodbye to each other. And it's one of those things that you just have to do with your family and friends. Let them know how you felt about them, and share that time with them, and then say your goodbyes, and then that's when you're out in the field, you've already said your goodbyes. You don't even think about anything like that. You're only focused on what you have to do. And like for most of our tracking times, is to go into a certain area that we know is a hot spot, track it the way we do, get the information, come back out and give that to the landowner or document it as a hot spot. But we know anything can happen at any time, and that's why we've said our goodbyes. And all of our trackers, if they go out with us, things like that, we always gotta say that and let everybody know. I mean, our trackers here, they're watching also. So we all know that anything can happen anytime, and we're okay. We're all gonna be okay. We're gonna start with this one as far as baseline. I think we have that right up here. Now we're gonna put this. It's out of the tracker book. The tracker book that TrackerE has been making notes along the way. Whenever we was out in the field for about 2.5 months, TrackerE was, jotting down some things. So if we ever have to pass this book on, you or someone who we knew would have all this information, just like these videos, people need this information. So we're going to start with this photo real fast, and we're going to go over it and explain it, and we'll go back and forth with the picture.
And this is not a full list. This will continue to be added to, and there may be some that are on trackers. Remember, that are not added onto here. Baseline is when we look at baseline first, that means you start at the bottom. Even in your home, if you drop something that's small and you can't find it, get down at baseline, get down at the very bottom and look, and you will find it a lot easier. We start from the bottom up, from the ground up.
And use a flashlight.
Yeah, if you lose something in your house, you can use a flashlight too, but down at baseline, and it just makes a big difference. That's a way that you can find the Bigfoot. You look at the bottom of the tree, and if you see their feet sticking out, they'll stand straddling the tree with their how can I do this? With their feet on either side of the tree. You understand?
Like the tree is like here, 1 foot here and 1 foot there. It's never like this. It's always on this side and on this side. It's never like that. Bigfoot's foot's on this side of the tree and on that side, so they stand like this.
And so you look flat. Oh, I didn't even think. Could y'all hear him? What he said? I hope you could hear him. He said they stand flat with 1 foot on either side of the tree, and that's why we start at baseline to look at is there anything poking out from the sides of the trees. They'll take advantage of the fact that most trees get wider at the bottom anyway, so you just look closely at that. Even if you lose your friend or your tracking partner in the forest, get down to baseline, get down low and look underneath that brush, and you will see trails. You will see their legs much easier than if you're standing up where all the green bushy part is. Our next term is radio dark. This is the one that will get you in trouble with your family. They'll be very upset with you if you have to do this. It means you just turn your electric communications off. The reason for that is in some cases, you're being tracked by people that don't want the information about the Bigfoots out there. So it's for that safety. You don't want to be pinged on your on your phones and your radios. Also, you don't need that extra noise. You don't need that distraction. You don't need it pinging when you're trying to be stealthy out there. So radio dark just means no communication through electronic devices. That also, if you have that as a rule out there, then you wouldn't be fooled by a mimic of a radio happening, which some Bigfoot, we have heard them out there mimicking what sounded like two-way radios. Shadow language is the next term. Shadow language is, we use the shadows to hide movement and to discern different shadows. When you're looking at a shadow, stare at it long enough that you can see the different layers. The Bigfoot and other predators use the shadows to their advantage. You have to look long enough so that it separates. Bigfoot is often described as darker than dark, blacker than black, blacker than night. They look like they absorb light. So if you look into those shadows, that's the first place they're going to hide, just like a spider would. And shadow figures, unclean spirits, all those things, they love the shadows. So understand the shadow language. Another aspect is there's so much to it. If you're looking at the ground and a shadow passes overhead, then you know something just went above you. Pay attention to that. Also, if you know if the birds are starting to circle to tell on you, and we'll talk about bird language, which is the next thing. Bird language is hear a bird, find a bird. If you step out your door every day and you hear a chirp of a particular bird, look for that bird and make sure that you can actually see it, because Bigfoot will also mimic every creature out there. And just make sure you can see it. Don't assume that everything that you hear is just a squirrel, just a bird, if you're in an active Bigfoot area, and from what we've seen, if there's any amount of trees whatsoever, you're in an active Bigfoot area, then you will hear their chirps and whistles and insect sounds. Pay attention if there's a pattern. I would say the number one skill of a tracker is recognizing patterns. Of a Bigfoot researcher, recognize patterns. Look for shadow on shadow. Look for hair, like shadows. Here. You go.
No, you got
it. The hair will move if you look for the shadows to move. The thing might stay still, and it's perfectly still, but its hair will blow in the wind. Look for things like that.
But that's good with the bird language on hear a bird, find a bird.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in the document.
And that goes for, yes, hear a bird, find a bird. And it doesn't apply just to birds. Obviously, if you hear a machine, if you hear just about anything, try to find it and make sure that what you hear is actually what you see.
Hear thunder, find thunder.
Exactly. They can even, the Bigfoot, the El Patón can even mimic weather sounds, and even to the thunder rumbling. And if it's down low, pay attention to those things. And we'll delve into that more in other lessons. We'll get specific about the weather.
I think we have thresholds on it, and we'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm. The wind language. We pay attention to the wind. We smell the wind. We use it to our advantage. And we watch for movement that is not wind. If you see one tree out there it's got a section of leaves that are moving, and the other trees are not, well, you know something's moving it. Why is it? Make sure that it's the wind. Bigfoot will even make wind sounds and make things rattle to get people to come out of their homes when it's stormy weather. Make sure that you're not giving credit to something that is actually caused by Bigfoot. Yes, wings, some of the flying Bigfoot, the Mothman, those kind of creatures, they can actually cause a wind too. You will feel as they blow overhead. Shadows, is that all you want to say about wind? Did that cover it?
Oh, to move when the wind moves.
Oh, yes, Bigfoot. You move when the wind moves, and Bigfoot will also move when the wind moves. We also noticed if you're in an area where there's traffic, that right when we're doing audios, right before a car will come down the road, you'll hear the rustling. They're moving. When there's another sound, they're going to take advantage of that sound, of the other natural sounds or artificial sounds. It's just the same way as they will pace with you. If you're walking, they will walk. So if you want to see if that's what they're doing, if they want to see if that's what they're doing, then walk, but lift your foot and hold it up. Don't drop that step. And if they're not actually watching you, they'll drop that step, and then you'll know for sure that's what they're doing. If you're walking and talking, that gives them another advantage because they're using that cover of your noise that you're making.
The rustling of the feet and
So,
the rustling of the feet and the talk.
yes, they'll use the rustling of the feet and the talking.
Also, you can move whenever the locusts go, or when you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
When the locusts are going, that's when you walk to cover your tracks also.
Yeah, these are good methods that they use as far as these are effective methods for moving through the forest and for being stealthy. They learned from what we do, and we can learn. People used to know these things, and we need to learn them again. Shadows and blurs. We talked about the shadows earlier. And the blurs, you see these out of the corner of your eye. You see a movement real fast, just a real quick. Well, pay attention to those. You're most likely going to see it on your right. But many of the sightings of Bigfoot are in our peripheral vision, which is better on our right-hand side. And our right eye catches quick movements. The left eye is more for focusing. It's like a zoom on a camera. So the shadows and the blurs, pay attention to those because sometimes those are Bigfoot or other entities. It might look like a mist, a fog, a lingering fog, a stringy fog. Pay attention to those also. Those are areas that could be turning into a portal, or they could be entities. If you're looking out there in the woods and everything is green and there's one spot that just looks, it's just an off color. It's not the same as everything else. You pay attention to those areas, or get your camera out and take pictures of those areas. Don't go into those areas. Stay out of those areas. We teach you these things so that you don't go in them, so that you recognize the hazards. And then once we've told you, if you decide you want to go in them, that's your decision, but you've been fully warned, so that's on you. Spider crawl. We talked about the spider DNA in the Bigfoot. The spider crawl is a very creepy way that they, almost like an army crawl, but their arms are stretched out. Their weight's not on their elbows. It's up on their fingertips. And their arms can be, I've heard two descriptions. And we've seen, what? Hold on just a second. Describe, I want you to describe the one that you saw at Shell's, what it was called.
We've been talking about the spider crawl and how the Bigfoots use that. When the Bigfoot is smaller, up to a juvenile, it has the same proportions as a regular man. But as it matures into like the adult stage, the legs will stay the same height and only get bigger and rounder and more muscled. But the top part starts growing, extending. So when that Bigfoot drops over onto all fours, it's a perfect, like a bear, as far as the lengthwise. The top of the body is so lengthwise that when it drops over onto all fours, it's a perfect size for those legs and those arms and claws that they're using. this is also in the documentary. We talk about this, but the spider crawl is more comfortable for the Bigfoot, and it's more quicker. I mean, it's quicker on all fours. And if you ever heard any stories, whenever they launch, they grab earth with the front hands also, as well as digging in and grabbing with the feet. And their feet are just like monkey feet too. You know, they'll hang in trees with their claws in their feet. But when they launch, they grab the earth and they launch with it. But it's more comfortable on all fours. It runs faster on all fours. Remember, it's more animal than the human DNA in it. It's more of a predator than the human DNA in it. So it has our features. That's the only thing that fools people. But that image, that outline is to fool you. It is a predator. It's using that image to get closer. And once you see these things, especially when they start running on all fours, you're gonna know that's no way that could be any kind of a man or human or anything like that. That is a creature, that is a beast, and that is a predator. And hopefully that predator is not heading towards you. The one that we've seen at the place that we was documenting, it was in the distance and it moved on all fours. But the homeowners have stated that they have seen them crawling like that in across roads and things, bridges. Um, let's see. Oh yeah. Well, that's ever. You got it. Oh, yeah. And Bigfoots are called blurs. They're called shadows. They're called silhouettes. Shadow people, blurs, especially blurs, because they move so fast and they'll take off running before they even get to where you will see them. So they're already on the move. So when you see them, you just see a blur, um, 55, 60 miles per hour.
The next term, spider web language, what we mean by that is in areas that are thick with the Bigfoot, there will be lots of spider webs, and you should be moving through the forest so slowly that you should see the spider web, but sometimes you won't because of the lighting or whatever. But you should be moving so slowly that if you feel it, you can back away from it and not get stuck on it. The spider webs show them that prey has passed through the area and broken the web. If it's up high, it shows them that a human or possibly a deer, but bigger prey, has walked through the area. Uh, don't break the spider webs. Pay attention to those and know that when they're in a big area, uh, they're they will move underneath. No, here. I'm not getting things.
Oh, I was, and we'll show you in just a minute. I was doing this. You know, this means spider web, and you'll see it in the tracking term, hand signals in just a minute. But also, we use the spider web, and most trackers don't do this. I know researchers don't do this because I've seen them in on their podcast or when they're in the field, and I see them do this. And Tracker M can attain to this, uh, but we use spider language. We use Bigfoots use spider language. They're accustomed to spiders. The when you're in the field, especially in that area you don't know, but you know there are Bigfoot in that area, if you are a researcher, use this technique. There will be a path, or there'll be two paths. There'll be a Bigfoot runway where it can go as fast as it wants, straight through the woods because it's lined up behind trees. It's a straight runway. It'll cross. It'll cross an animal path and it'll cross a human path because they eat humans and they eat animals. Now, using the spider language, when you're walking through a forest, and it could even be an open forest or something like that, if there's a spider web, don't go through that spider web. Go around it. If you go around it, start looking for, there's going to be an area. This will have a spider web over here. This will have a spider web over here. This area won't have it. Go through that area and keep maneuvering through that area like that. Wherever the spider web is, go around it. Don't disturb it. If you disturb it, that Bigfoot knows somebody or something or an animal but food has came through there and knocked that spider web down. Now they're searching. Now they're looking at footprints, smelling, looking for anything that's going to tell them what walked through there. If you use the spider webs and go between them and keep maneuvering like that, the Bigfoots won't even consider even looking over there. They're looking for disturbances of their traps. They're looking for, they'll place a stick on a stone, a small stick that can break real easy. And they'll wait. And whenever something steps on it, wherever that stick breaks, it'll break in two places. It'll break on this side of the foot and this side of the foot. Or it'll break in the middle of where the deer stepped or the pig stepped. But it'll show the indentions of how wide that foot is or that hoof. It could be yours. It could be another Bigfoot. It could be a deer or a hog. But when you're walking and tracking, don't step on stones that have sticks or little sticks there. Those are traps. Those are pressure traps. Once you pop them, it shows how big you are, how much weight you have, and that you came through there. But when you use the spider webs, you're not going to step on any traps. You're not going to step on any sticks like that. That's where the Bigfoots go. And the Bigfoot goes like this through the brush. The runways, they go like that. And you'll see where they have their sticker bushes and everything. You'll see it's just like a spider web. If you go back one layer back, it's all like that. But in between all that, there's going to be a diagonal path that goes like this through the stickers. There's no stickers on those long stems. They've been picked off, flipped off. So you can just walk through there like that without getting cut or anything. And that's what that's a Bigfoot path. You'll look for it and you can maneuver through the woods, through the forest by using their paths. They'll have like stickers coming down. It'll look like you can't get through there, but just get a stick and lift it up. It's just like a door. You're just lifting a door, and you can put that sticker back, and it'll look like nobody can go through there. But that's a path that they use, and they do use spider webs. They don't disturb the spider webs. They don't disturb their DNA cousins, friends, whatever. But they use them, and you can use those spider webs too, especially if you're tracking, because Bigfoots do get careless when they know that you're coming in that area and you're looking for certain things, and you just bypass the deer, you just bypass the hog, you just bypass the turkey that they sent you. They know that you're looking for something else or you're looking for them, and they will also set up traps like that. But they will get careless because they're moving away from you. They're just trying to keep that certain distance away from you. Wherever you're at, they're going to keep that certain distance.
Will you please show how they move around a tree like a spider? Will you please show how they move around a tree like a spider?
Okay. Also, as being spiders, but they will also hang upside down. They will also hang upside down. Oh, they'll also hang upside down, like in the background up here, the very top, the blackness that's behind the trees are upside down Bigfoots, and the ones on the bottom are Bigfoots by the base of the tree. That's baseline. That's what we talk about. Baseline. That's what we look for. Those shadows, movement, twitches of hair. We always start at baseline, ground level first, and then we work our way up. But the Bigfoots will hang upside down. They will also, what was this?
I would like to also show the
But as Tracker was asking that, like wherever that tree is, if you're walking in the forest, you're going like that. That Bigfoot that's behind that tree, whenever you go past it, they're going to turn all the way around. They're going to always be on that other side of the tree. Wherever, if you're walking in the forest, wherever you go, they're going to be that far. They know how far is the best vision that we have. We're not the first humans that they've walked up on. But even like when a car goes by, behind that tree, whenever that car goes by, they will maneuver around that tree so that the car going by never even sees it. It's like,
and just since we're on the subject of spiders in spiritual warfare, if there are a lot of spiders in a place, that's not, you need to do some spiritual cleansing. Spiders are unclean spirits, and spiders go together very much. We've seen in too many cases where spiders were actually stalking people, and get rid of the spiders. You don't need the spiders in your house. You'll be okay. Your house will be okay without the spiders. People are made to feel guilty now if they don't have bugs and spiders in their house, and if they don't pet them and love them and give them.
Kill all the spiders. Smash
Get
them.
rid of the spiders.
Get rid of them.
Get them out of your house.
Yeah.
Let's see the next one. On hold. That term just means hold your position until you're told otherwise. So with the hand signal for that,
Hold up. That's also military.
would be just stop, hold still, wait. Mapping. That's when we map out our routes before. We label 1, 2, 3 from the best alternatives. Always have a real map or a memory, not GPS. Doing what we do, it's just good sense really not to let everyone know where you're going. And if you're doing something that people that may be able to follow you or get into your phone or get into your mapping system, if you're really getting active into the Bigfoot and you really are knowing where Bigfoot are and they're getting nervous about you putting information out there, they will start following you. We've been followed, but they'll also do things like hack into your phones and your computers. So it's just try to have a map, try to have an old school map or print it out and go somewhere else and get the map off the computer and just have your hard copy. Don't count on your GPS. Also, in the areas that you go to, you can't always count on the GPS to work for you. So you should just have it either, or maps can get lost, coffee can spill on them. Try to have just in general your map memorized so that you can know where to go if something happens to it.
3 different ways.
Pardon?
3 different ways. I think mapping.
3 different ways. Yeah, 3 different alternatives because there's bad roads, there's detours, you may need to shake somebody who's trying to follow you for a variety of reasons. There may be Bigfoot. the Bigfoot will drop logs on a road and try to trap you in. You need to know other ways to get in and out of where you're going. That reminds me too, just a tip, try to always have a chainsaw with you or some means of cutting the logs if you're into Bigfooting, because they will drop trees to trap you in somewhere. And remember, and she may be listening tonight, I have a friend, or we have a friend that this did happen. A tree got pushed over. It was too big for them to get out with their chainsaw, so they cut a bunch of little trees around and made a new path around the tree. I thought that was very clever of them.
But now they're talking about a tree.
You want to tell the story on that tree?
They're not talking about a small tree.
Yes, we're talking about a huge tree. It's a very interesting story. These people, they went to meet someone in the woods, and they said there was no storm, there was no wind, nothing, and a very big tree just tipped over in front of them and blocked their way. And those are the sort of translucent Bigfoot signs that we teach you guys about. And so that's how they got out of there, would be because they were going to be trapped in there in a very isolated place. And I don't think the Bigfoot expected them to be able to do what they did. So very proud of them.
We also carry a chainsaw with us.
Yes, and it was in a very, very highly active area, and they're aggressive in that area too. They're in southeast Texas.
And also, we don't have a gas one that's going to make a lot of noise. We have a electric that goes zzz, so you can't even hear it.
Yes, the quieter that you can be out there in the woods, the better in all circumstances. Okay, our next, is that all you want to say about mapping?
Mm-hmm.
Equipment check. That just means make sure the night before that you have your batteries charged, your phones charged, your cameras charged, and ready to go. Make sure that you've got what you need for your vehicle, that it's charged up. Just common sense sort of things. Do those the night before so you're not freaking out the next morning. The smoother and more quiet that you can get out the door, and if you can get out in one shot without having a bunch of trips back and forth to the car, the better. You don't need neighbors or people driving by to notice that you're leaving, or for it to look like you're leaving for an extended time. These are just common sense things for any sort of predator, to avoid any sort of predators. Surveillance is the next term we have on here. Observing normality and abnormality. That just means when you get into an area that you're going to track, try to blend in with the locals. Don't go try to make a big show of yourself. Know about some of the local things going on. Sit and listen to what people are talking about in the cafes. Dress normal, whatever that is. Just dress like the locals and observe what's normal in the area. Listen to the stories. You don't want people trying to bother you or harass you or call the law on you because you've drawn attention to yourself in an area. And then when we're talking about in the woodline, and this all goes together because you're going to get to the general area before you get into the woodline or the new land. And same thing there. Sit and rest a while and just listen. What is normal? You don't know what's abnormal until you hear what's normal. Do these dogs always bark at this time? What time are people coming in, going? What are the busy times? That sort of thing.
What kind of cars?
What kind of cars are there? Like when you go into your own new neighborhoods too, pay attention to who's coming and going, what's normal, that sort of thing. That's what we mean by that.
Even tags will tell you if they're even their car tags will tell you if they're from that county or a different state or a government vehicle. And I always take those tag numbers down if they're suspicious of going more than once or twice, around your home. If it's an abnormal car, get that tag, do some checking. A lot of people have friends, so know who just drove by in, your area.
even air traffic, pay attention to that. In when you get to a new area, which Team L may be on here tonight, and I would say just about every time we have gone anywhere on an extended trip, there's been an increase in the air traffic. Uh, Pay attention to that. What's normal, what's not normal. It's not normal, for instance, the night we had Tracker A on here talking about the Bigfoot that had to be put down, to have two helicopters out there circling around the house. That's not normal. That would be an example of an abnormality and something to pay attention to.
And also you can get a hold of the FCC, and there's an actual app that shows you what kind of air traffic is in your area. One of our friends sent that to us. You can check that app to make sure, is this a scheduled helicopter that's supposed to be over my head? Call the FCC, find out who has got a helicopter in your area.
There is something called gang stalking, and they will just try to put so much pressure on people who have found Bigfoot, or people that they see becoming a problem with exposing Bigfoot, with exposing the predatory nature and reality of the Bigfoots, that it's just a constant pressure to some of these people of the driving around. They're not doing anything. They're just driving by several times a day or flying by several times a day. So you never can let your guard down. Pay attention to those kinds of things. Let's see. Scouting is our next term, which is finding all entry, exit, and drop points and risks. When we're scouting, we're looking for a general area of where we're going to track. And that's pretty self-explanatory. With you just want to know all the ways that you can get in, all the ways that you can get out. We talked about that a little bit a minute ago. If you're having to meet someone and pick up or drop off something, you need to have a good solid plan that everybody is on board with before you do that. The less that you can talk over the phone, the better. The less that you can electronically communicate, the better. But sometimes it's just about impossible. The next is planning, which is organizing with all of the team members on whatever your mission is, whatever your track is, just to make sure everyone's on the same page. That way everyone is prepared with proper clothing and proper equipment, proper weapons, everything that they need.
It also goes with the drop or an extraction if we got to get somebody out, or if we've got to is it planning? Yeah, planning also, say we have to pick somebody up nonchalantly, or we may need to exchange some equipment nonchalantly. Be on board with the whole team. So if there's and have a plan A and a plan B, have a backup plan. If we don't make that drop there, let's drop somewhere else. We got a backup plan. But plan with your whole team. Whatever you're doing, your whole team has to make sure they know exactly what their job is, where we're going, how we're going to go in, what we're looking for, how long we're going to be there, and how we're coming back, and how quickly. And you got to have the whole plan worked out before you get to your site. This is when you're at the meeting area, base. And plus you're going to have two places that you're going to be camping. This is where you make all the plans, eat, talk, whatever. This one is the active area. This is where you don't do that. This is where the hand signals come in. The plan's already known with everybody, so we know what to do. We don't have to talk. We know what we're going to do. But that is the planning part. You got to have your whole team. Every one of you's got to know exactly what to do and how long we got to do it. Sometimes it's just get in there, get all the information we can because we know it's a hot spot and we need to get out. But if we know it's a safe zone, I mean, it's still active, but not as aggressive Bigfoots, say the Clayton area, things like that, or the Owachita, that you'll have time to go in there and do it a little more relaxed time. But also with the military, you go in, do whatever you got to do, and get out. Avoid problems. Just get in there, everybody work together, get what you need, and get home safe.
And for planning, make sure one or two trusted individuals knows the general area that you're going. Just good common sense. The next is, we just call this go time. That's the date, time, minute, second. If it were
Yeah, and this sorry. And this also pertains to whenever you've got your gear ready the night before, it's by the door. Nobody in your neighborhood or in your area has seen you take a bag out to the car. Make sure there's no people outside. Get your gear into that vehicle as quickly as possible, nonchalantly. Don't draw attention. Don't even draw attention to birds or dogs. And then get back in, and when it's time to go, you have the big things already in there, but you have your gear right next to the front door. And now you're down to the hour, the minutes, and the seconds. This is what time we want everyone to go out that door. And the only thing that would stop it would be either people coming by or traffic coming by or a helicopter or plane. Those are holds. Those are automatic holds. You don't jump out there when everybody's out there. You don't jump out there when the helicopter's right above you. That's the only hold time. But besides that, if nothing is out there, that's your go time. That's whenever you grab your gear and you go out, start the vehicle, and you get down the road. Once you leave your base, don't go back. Don't turn around. If you left your favorite walkie-talkie, it's gone. I mean, unless that's your base that you're coming back to. But when you're leaving home, have everything ready. Once you turn around, once you stop your flow of intent, your flow of energy that's going for you to get you there and get you home safe. It's already going. As soon as you go, it goes. If you stop or slow down or turn around, that energy is like going this way. Now you're turned around, so you're distorting the perfect rhythm that you had set for yourself to get there and get back easy. Now you're going to have to adjust. So make sure you have everything ready. Check it, double check it, and check it again. So that when you go out that door, you got everything you need. You're not the one holding the team up. You're not the one going, oh, let me run back and grab this bag. Oh, I forgot my weapon. My favorite hat, things like that. Now, if it's your weapon, we're going back for it. But if it's your favorite hat, forget about it. We're gone. We got to go. We got to keep this energy going so we get back. Set your intent during that time. And that's our go time. Also, this next one, we have code orange, code red, and code white. As everybody knows, if you've been here with the channel for just
I just didn't have the right
code, okay. Oh, okay. But code orange is active. We've got whistles, we've got sticks throwing, we've got rocks. That's code orange because the most vicious Bigfoots have the orange eyes. Then it goes red, then pink, then yellow, and then blue, and then white. The white is like the younger ones. They're in the training. They're not blood hungry like the red the pink and the orange. They haven't got their taste or thirst or lust for the human blood yet. Um, well, I'm talking about the glow or the shine, because it'll show up different. But when we say code orange, that means we got active all over us. Code pink, code red, and code white. Especially white is, we're just in the area, we're here, but we got a feeling. It's different levels, but code orange means we have got some active areas.
Some of these things might seem like overkill, but if it's just practice, more often you're not waiting until the last minute to be able to do it when you really have to. So you can kind of make a game out of it for yourself of, let's see how quietly I can get into the car. Can I get into the car without making a single noise? Can I get to the car? These are good practice. And you never know when you may be in a situation with a human predator that you have to sneak away from or get away from. This is all good practice, and it's good things to teach your to teach your children too. But that could be a double-edged sword. Okay. And also learn to change your tires. Make sure that you know how to change your tire.
Example.
An example?
Of us.
Give an example. Oh, my example. When I learned to change my tire, I was pregnant with my first. Hey, I'm proud of this story. I'm gonna tell this story.
Okay.
I was pregnant with my first child, and I thought, I don't even know how to change a tire, so I pulled over on the side of the road and changed a tire that wasn't even flat, just to make sure that I could, in case I had the baby and couldn't change it. Make sure you know how to change your tire. It's really not that hard, but every single car is not the same, and they're so different now. That was 30 years ago. They're so different now that do that beforehand. You don't want to be trying to change your tire because you ran over a drop and pop out there in the middle of the woods, and here's Bigfoot around, and now you're trying to figure out and read your manual to find out how you even get to your jack. Make sure that you know how to do those things ahead of time, and that your tires are aired up properly, and all the appropriate vehicle maintenance things are handled. Do you want to do? Okay. On these, I think I should read them, and you do the hand signals. Okay. Now it's tracker hand signals. The first one is one fist up. That means stop. Oh, we're tangled. The finger up. Fingers up. Yard. One finger, 1 yard.
10 yards. I should say 10.
Some of these we have come up very recently too. Some new ones for the we're adding to.
Oh, no, that's fine.
One finger's 10 yards. I wrote it down wrong. That's my fault. One finger is 10 yards. So if he's saying 3 fingers, that's 30 yards.
And that means goes 30 yards out and hold.
Okay. Pointing means lost track.
So
And by track, we mean footprint.
it would be
And that means you lost it.
yeah. I'm pointing at the last track I got.
When you lose a track, when you can't find one, you always go back to the last one that you were at and start from there again.
Whenever our trackers are out in the field, you have a lead track, you have a point. That person scouts out the best, safest routes to go. They avoid the traps. They look for the most matted down area to walk on, so it's the quietest area, sand, something like that. But when you lose the track, when we're tracking a person, this is what we're talking about. We're not talking about Bigfoots, but If you're tracking a Bigfoot, also use the same thing, because a Bigfoot will, this last step, the next one may be 5 foot, the step after, or it may have jumped, and it may have jumped 20 feet. It may have jumped 30 feet. So what we do is when we're training, we give each tracker a yard of twine. And that last track, when we stand up, we point at the ground, and you point at the last track that you have. So you would be standing up and pointing straight down at that last track. That tells the rest of us, I lost my track. That's the last track. Now in training, when we have our camp and we're training, you'll get that spool, and it's about 50 yards of spool. And you're going to go straight out 50 yards to look for another track. You don't find it, you come back in, you're going to go this way. You don't find it, you come back in, you're going to go this way. If we don't find it there, we're going to start moving up and looking on the back side of trees. We're going to look for claw marks going up, because when Bigfoot, when you get on their tail, they're going to start climbing trees. They're going to go tree to tree. They're going to be on stumps, rocks. They're going to be trying to cover their track the best they can. That's why you got to know how to track them. They will use the trees, or there will be an empty tree that they can get in and get down underneath the ground. They have those little hiding places of trees out there that they can get inside and go down. They also have trees that they look at, you know, a fallen down tree. There's a cave there. There's a hole there. You're walking, you're the upstairs neighbor. They're under here watching and listening. Let me show you this real fast. Give you an example. This is TrackerElla in one of these trees. Let me show that one more time, because Bigfoots will get into those trees and hide, either to hunt or to avoid you, try to lose you. So when we're tracking, we're looking, when we lose that track, we point down. That means the other trackers hold and let that tracker go out and find what they need to find. They don't find it, we're going to start looking at the trees, underneath stumps, in stump. We look into stumps like that, and for fallen trees. Look for burrows underneath them. They do collapse inward. Like a spider, they collapse inward. So you can't dig them out, but you can stick a stick in there and start pulling out. Oh, okay. Let's see. Next we are, oh, the outspread hand. That's a flat. Oh, no. The outspread hand and point. The outspread hand and point. That means spider web and where it is. So if we go like this means spider web. And you'll see us in the field, if you're ever with us, we'll go, you know, this is to hold. This is spider web. Hold, spider web. Hold. Now, whenever you call for a spider web, point, and that's why it says outspread hand and point. Spider web over there. Spider web over there. You're letting the next tracker know there's a spider web, so we're going this way. You don't want, because sometimes trackers may be over here or over there, and the point is in the middle, but some trackers may be over here or over there. So let them know where those spider webs are so they don't go through it, because Bigfoots will use those spider webs. Let's see. Flat hand down. Flat hand down. So if the front is walking the front one will put their hand like this, but it'll be down to the side. When you put that hand down, that means track, a Bigfoot track. And, you know, it's a big one. So this means track. Now, this right here is supposed to be the next one. Yeah, the next term, that is the flat hand circle rubbing motion. Now, this means track. This means bedding, or a blind area where it's been, you can tell this area is matted down. So this is track, this is lost track, and this is bedding. Also, now this one is fracture. And this is the next term up there. That is fracture. It's the branch snapped down, but it's not broken. And everybody has seen those trees.
There should be.
Okay, let's use this one. This is a directional marker also. This is not exactly what I was talking about.
Right here. Just break it. Just show them what it does.
Okay. Now, what we were talking about is whenever the Bigfoot pulls that tree down just enough, just like if, say, this was behind me. I hope I don't get this stuff in my hair. Can you hold that? Okay. The Bigfoot will bend this down like this, and it will stay in that position, or it'll have a little break. But it'll have that bend, you know, it'll have that look. And you'll see these everywhere. If you have Bigfoots around, they're going to be pointed downward just like this. Just so the Bigfoot can be behind that blind. So all it's doing is pulling that blind down just to hide behind it. But you'll see those fractures. Okay, the next one is to point at the eye and the ear, and that's for look and listen. And to make a circle, when we point at our eye, that means we're being watched. We know there's Bigfoot in the area. We're being watched. We know there's at least one that's watching us. If we point at our eye and go like this, that's saying we've got multiple around us. Same way with the ear. We'll go like that and point in a direction. Or if we go like this, that means that we have them. We can hear things over there. Over there, there's an owl over there. There's an owl over there. Owl over here. You know, we can hear these things. And then we're communicating with each other to let everybody know.
Did we actually say the 3 fingers curl down? We did.
The next one has and that's one that's just barely written on there. I mean, it's kind of barely being shown, but it says bow equals tree curved halfway down. The hand is curved like an arc. So when we see these bows out in the field, we'll go like this. And this is just to let the other trackers know there's a bow over here. And bows mean Bigfoot. You'll see that. Every bow is the size of the game, whether it's a mouse, rabbit, a deer, a man on a horse. They make them that big for men on horses, about 8 foot tall, 10 foot tall. You can see a man can ride that horse underneath it. Three fingers curled down is a pull down. And that's the one we were talking about with the branches that they pull down. Well, I guess that was right. The other one was a fracture. But we use 3 fingers spread open and just do that. And that lets them know there's a blind, there's a pull down, there's a pull down, there's a blind here. And that's 3 fingers downward. And that lets us know that there's a blind over here, a pull down. One fist on the eye. One fist on the eye is a cave. You can see, you can look into the cave. One fist on the eye. Also, we pay attention to the birds, the crows. The next one is the bird, the one finger up and the back of the hand to the viewer. So if I'm talking, or if I see a bird before anybody else, if I see that raven, or if I see an owl that flip, or if I see a blue jay, if I see a woodpecker, it's like that, and then you point to wherever that bird is. You want your whole team to know where these ravens are to take cover. These ravens do pinpoint you. They will tell the Bigfoots where you are. It's a sense of food for them. And if you're the only one out there, they're going to spot you. I mean, they're going to pinpoint you. They will once they have you pinpointed, they're going to fly on the outside, the tree line. But they're going to pinpoint you. They're going to be on every side of you flying across, and then they're going to come, and they'll fly right over top of you this way and fly right over top of you that way to pinpoint you. So whenever we catch that, we take cover. When we know crows or ravens are coming, we'll go and point at whichever direction, and that means take cover, let the birds pass, and then we'll move. The next one. One finger out with the other without the pointed finger sliding across it. It was and that's at the bottom, and we're talking about bridges now. Do we have a picture of a bridge? The best one? Okay. Now, yeah, he does. Oh, maybe. Let me look. We may have a picture of a bridge for you. Actually, I'm pretty sure we do. Right here. Okay, now this is what we call a bridge. Now, a bridge And it's in the background of Tracker S. It's Tracker S out of Louisiana. Tracker S's photo. Now that log, that tree behind him, Bigfoots will knock trees over, ravines, waterways, um, areas that are hard to pass. They'll knock a tree over just so the animals or people will take that bridge and walk over it. Once a person or an animal is halfway, this Bigfoot's going to show up, and then this Bigfoot's going to show up. Now, if you're on that bridge, what we call a bridge, and the way we do is one finger out, we're going to run our other finger across it. We're saying, here's a bridge, here's a bridge, here's a bridge. So whenever we see that, we'll go like that and point, or we'll go like that, and the next tracker, it will be in the direction we're going. So it's one finger down, one finger across. That's what we call a bridge. Let me get back to the where we at. And we actually need to have a test on this also with the there it is. It was moved. Okay, so I'm going to show you one more time. We're on a bridge. This is the part that we're talking about, a bridge. And here's a picture of a bridge behind Tracker S out of Louisiana. That's what we call a bridge. That is a trap. That is a Bigfoot trap. Don't get on those bridges.
And look below those bridges. Look below those bridges for the caves. Look below those bridges, especially at the tree root part, for caves that are dug for ambush spots.
Yes, you will find caves at the base of where the tree falls. Here at the base, all that loose dirt, soil, the Bigfoots will build a cave underneath it. And they'll be on the other side where the top of it fell also. There will be another cave over here. On both sides, it's a trap. And they set these in ravines and waterways. You're going to find these even over the smallest creeks. They're going to do that. They're getting the rabbits, they're getting mice, they're getting any and every living creature that they can get their hands on, they're going to eat.
People will also take the path of least resistance, and they will go across those bridges too.
Yeah, you'll also see that in movies. You'll see people running down trying to cross a ravine. They're going to find the tree that's just knocked over. They're going to get on it, and that's a trap. You'll see that in the movies too. Yeah, yeah. And the next one is one finger up with the other wrapped around it. That's like this. One finger up, the other finger, the hands wrapped around it. And that means Bigfoot in tree. And point to where you're at. And we don't have these written down because this was jotted also. But whenever this with one wrapped around is Bigfoot in tree. Bigfoot in tree. That's how we know. When you do that, I'm looking. I want to know. And then you're going to point and say, okay, got it. This means Bigfoot or tree moving. And point at that tree, point in that direction to your other trackers. What we're saying is there's one tree moving. All the rest of the trees are there, but this one tree is going like this. And if you listen to the podcast, I mean the stream with Tracker A, which is one where we had the apology on that. Hopefully we can come back and link that, or we'll link it again. But Tracker A will tell you this happened, and she knew what to look for. She also has a DVD. She's been with us for a long time. She's the strongest tracker we got out there in the Alabama area. She's helping a lot of people, but that's what happened, and she knew it. She couldn't see it at first, but just by knowing this, what to look for out of all those other trees, she was able to spot it and pin it down, and they had to dispatch that one.
And y'all sign up on her channel also. Tracker A. It's straight Tracker A.
Yeah, also go to Tracker A's channel, and Tracker E will put the link to her page. Also, give her some support. She's got some important information. She's got activity right now. She's posting. She's showing you a lot of video, a lot of prints, a lot of activity. We're getting to where the Mothman and everything are coming in. She's got a lot of experience over there. The next one, it's not on here, but this, when we go like this, we're saying shadow. Shadow. We look for shadows. Shadow language. Look for these dark areas in the tree. Could be nothing, but you let the other tracker know there's a shadow over here and point at that direction. If we go like this, open fingers, wavy, that's translucent. You've got movement. There's something there. There's blue fog. There's a mist in that tree. There's something there. I know it's there. I can't see it, but when you do that to us and point, we know what you're talking about. We're looking for outlines now. We're looking for movement. We're looking for that translucency. We're looking for that glimmer. We may shoot a laser up through there just to see if we can get that flash off of it. But that right there means translucent or foggy. This is shadow.
We're at an hour and 40 minutes.
Okay.
Would that be a good place to stop with the end of those two things? And then also I want to show them that first spider.
Okay. So we're at an hour and 40 minutes. We're going to continue this again on the next stream, but we still want to show you a couple of things real fast. We still got a lot. We're not going to get all this training done in just one thing. A lot of our trackers have been with us for a while, and they can tell you there's over 200 and something videos, plus all the live streams, plus the DVD. And I would say just our trackers has all this information. The rest of the people don't have it, but we're sharing it.
This structure is in the vein of a spider web. They also lay their traps out in spider webs, but this structure was in southeast Texas in the Big Thicket area, and very near a boneyard, very near a portal. Lots of very strange experiences in this section, but it's just a really interesting structure, and we wanted to show that to you. We could do these and explain that real quick. We wanted to show you also how a lot of the structures are placed so that the sun will blind you and they will be hiding behind that sunlight. Be careful of that. Watch the sun and don't be directly in the sun. We call that a shiner. You stick to the shadows just like the Bigfoot do. They hide behind the light just like demons do.
Okay, think of that word. So we actually had to. It was a long day for us. Also, we had to go and check out a couple of places. One of the trackers, actually two of the trackers, asked us to step out and come in and look at some places. We went out and checked this place out, and let me play this little clip. This is the place that we went to yesterday. We had some other things we had to do today. Was it yesterday? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yesterday we went out to this other tracker's area. They're out of their area right now, so they asked us to pop in, and so we came there to do a little quick look, and this is this area that we checked out.
Oh, we're safe. I got a good rifle in the house, like a semi-automatic.
The judge is in there.
That's coming from up there now.
That call at the end, that's not a whoop. That was a war cry. After we had spent almost a month in this one place helping to clear an area and to beat back an area, to get the Bigfoots to get out of this area and to have them go across the mountain. That was, and we would, if the Bigfoots came down to where we were at night, we would be up in that mountain in the morning shooting our shotguns, just letting it go. We was letting them know, you come into our area, we're gonna come up there. And we would go up there before the sun come up, scout the area, do some shooting up there, just let them know, don't come this way. You got all that area, whatever. Don't come here. And for us, it was like, don't come here because our friends live here. And so that's what that was a war cry. That's not a whoop. Don't be whooping. Don't be tree knocking out there. That's a war cry. That's just letting them know, we're ready.
And in all this time, that's also the only time I've ever seen you do that.
Yeah, I won't ever whoop and I won't ever tree knock. Those war cries, those are for a reason. That's saying right here, we're ready. Now trackers, especially the new trackers. I want you to hear two more clips, and actually I want you to hear the three. But this is not an owl. This is for our trackers. This is not for people who want to try to say it's something else or that it's an owl or something. This is for our trackers. If you got an opinion about this, that's great. Keep it to yourself. We're saying we want our trackers to know this is not an owl. This is a Bigfoot mimicking a sound. So here we go. Okay, here's the next one. Trackers. All of our new trackers and people learning. This is not a dog you'll hear what we're talking about. This is not a dog. This is a Bigfoot mimicking a dog. And there are, in this area at this time, there were a lot of Bigfoots, but there always seems to be one or two that just shows out than the rest. But to our trackers, this is not for everybody. We want our trackers to know this is not a dog. This is what we're listening for.
There's no dogs up in that mountain. There's a dog over there and dogs down there, but not over there in the mountain. Dogs don't howl like that continuously.
Again, this next clip, this next sound, this is not a dog. This is for our trackers and our new trackers and the people viewing. We're not looking for anyone's opinion. This is to let our trackers know this is not a dog. This is a Bigfoot mimicking. You have to know these sounds. I'm going to play two more clips real fast. And then we're going to have Tracker E do the comments. And then we're going to close and we'll be back again for another training session. If you've been with us for a while, you know that we're not going to get this done in one. These are steps, but we do want you to be safer out there. Now we're going to play this one again just to let you know that this sounds almost the same as, and these are two different locations. But in this next one also, which you've heard, but listening because it almost sounds the same. But these are not dogs. These are not coyotes. These are Bigfoots and predators out there near people's homes.
Oh, we're safe. I got a good rifle in the house, like a semi-automatic.
The judge is in there.
That's coming from up there now.
I'm going to show you this one last clip, and I might play it twice. But I want you to look right up in here. This is where the Bigfoot is in the tree. You're going to see his face. You're going to see this part of the face and this part. And it's going to be turning its head. It's going to be looking like this. It's eating. And then it's going to turn and look, and it's going to spot us, and it's going to freeze again. But look right up here, it's black, but you're going to see the white. Look for the white. You're going to see it, though. Look right up here. I'm going to play it twice, and then we'll do the comments. This is a Bigfoot in a tree. It's a young one. Physically, your feelings and senses will tell you where the predator is located. If the predator is behind you, you will feel the hair on the back of the neck. If the predator is on the right or left, goose pimples, shivers, or wind will be on. Now that was a clip from the DVD where we showed that Bigfoot. But this was a clip that we used with our phone on the TV, trying to get it for y'all. On the DVD, it's it's not as moving. I mean, because I'm using a phone to try to record that. I'm gonna show it one more time. This is a Bigfoot in a tree moving its head, and it's black. You can't even see the body. Look for the head, and then we'll get with the comments. If you listen to the words, these are the words that's in the documentary. We're helping you find these things by using your body and your feelings as well. This is a clip from the DVD where we show one of the Bigfoots, but this is with a phone. I'm trying to do it on a recorded off of TV, I think. But in the film, it's steady and everything. You get a better look and a bigger screen TV. Here's the Bigfoot. If you see it, it'll be right up here in the documentary. Be right up here. Physically, your feelings and senses will tell you where the predator is located. If the predator is behind you, you will feel the hair on the back of the neck. If the predator is on the right or left, goose pimples, shivers, or wind will be on. And I think we actually told people that the waves, like the Bigfoot, can't stop its mouth. It'll hold its mouth for a little bit, but it's like a cow. It'll end up going chewing on its cud, kind of thing. If it has to hold in place, it will drool. You'll see drool come down and it'll drop. The eyes will give it away. They'll move eyes. If you're out there and you think you see a Bigfoot, if you see a translucent and you're just not sure, get you a empty can, get you a rock, anything except your camera, and throw it. Once you throw it, keep that camera on that spot. Once you throw it, because that Bigfoot will shoot its eyes over, or it'll look with one eye. It don't have to look with both eyes. It can follow that with one eye and still keep one eye on you and look over there. But it will move its eyes if you throw something. It will move it. It may keep one still, but it will move one or move both. So those are ways. Be patient. Those things will give it away. They will also, some of them, they have a long tongue, and it just looks like a snake. It comes out, curls back up, and goes back in, just like a slide, pretty much. And it's a forked tongue, and you'll see that'll give them away also. So we're gonna get with the comments now, and we'll have Tracker E close up, and we will be back again, and she'll explain it also.
Okay, we won't go through every single comment. We won't keep y'all too long. And big shout out to CT for translating for us tonight. Thank you so much. That is just so helpful. We really appreciate our Spanish viewers, and we don't want them to get frustrated and leave. And also, someone had asked if they couldn't translate on their, I know on the live stream you can't do the translation, but later in the comments and when you're watching the video back, the viewers can set the translation to Spanish.
Yes.
Okay, the hellos. We can't see you well. Hopefully that cleared up a little. The lighting, I'm a little pale. Sally says someone should type those addresses. We did that. I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to pull out a few of the comments.
Okay.
Say it again.
Oh, I was thinking I could click right here for 1 second.
Down here. Okay.
Yeah, I think you can still do that.
Okay. Actually, maybe I should just get on my phone to do comments. Yeah. No, okay. Minority Reporter said like a baboon. I'm not sure what we were talking about at the time that you said that. Not clinging to the side of the tree.
Yours jumped. You should be over here somewhere. Let's see this one. Just roll your finger.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, just roll it up and down.
Okay.
There we go. There.
What was that? All right. Hold on. Trying to catch up. We don't want to read every single and keep y'all here too long. I'm going to pull out the ones that I know what they're saying. Mary Stout. Hey, Mary.
Hey,
Just
Mary.
noticed you came in.
Pray we must.
She says we're coming in good. Pray we must. Hi, Linda.
Good. Charles
Glad
is
everyone's
watching.
here. Charles is here. Charles was watching from Facebook.
Oh, good.
Good. Hopefully that worked well, Charles.
Christian from Chile. Danette. Hey, Danette. CT.
How you doing, Danette?
How you doing, Danette?
CT Christian.
We appreciate you.
Lamont Cherie.
CT.
The Lord is with us, and thank you for bringing God's. I'm not sure what you meant to say there, but
Forefront.
God to the forefront.
There
That's
you
what
go.
I bet. Yes,
we
to
go.
the forefront. Okay, yeah, I just saw the next one.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Cherie.
Christian says, Jerry and Ella, the real Van Helsing.
I love that. That's one of my favorite movies, actually.
Well, thank you, Christian.
I love it. I'll take it.
Gracias, Christian.
Marcelo says,
Marcelo.
hola.
Hola.
Hello,
Uruguay.
Marcelo. Hola. Christian.
Judy Wheeler. All right, Judy. Lionel
Lionel says,
Lionel?
hi, Jerry.
Hello.
Lamont Cherie says, every time my kids go out the door, we always say, I love you. So if something happens, those would be the last things we hear. That's wonderful.
Wonderful.
There is a very much a strength
Yeah.
in that and a protection in that.
Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot was a little late to class today.
He sent a message earlier of why.
Oh.
He says, sorry we're late. Audio sounds good. Thank you.
I'm sure it's for a great reason. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
for a good
Radio Dark, no communication. Okay. CT is working her tail off.
Thank you, CT. Look at that.
Interpreting for us.
We can see you're doing some work, CT.
You're doing
Thank
a great job. Thank you, CT. When we get a t-shirt, we're going to send you a t-shirt, CT.
And Christian said something about a
Am I going too fast?
translucido. Cuando?
Wants to know why they turn translucent.
Oh, camouflage.
Why and when they want to know about the translucency. Should we go into that on another night?
We'll get to that also. I mean, it's translucent viewing whenever we get to that, really.
Well, we will answer your question, but not tonight. We'll come back to that, Christian. Minority Reporter says, I found one perfect footprint on the beach sand. I looked all around, found no other imprints. How could that be?
We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
And also when they show you that perfect print, it's to let you know when you get that one print or that perfect print, it's to let you know, they know you're in the area. And that's either to keep coaxing you to keep coming or to tell you we're too big for you. But also that one print, like we just talked about in the trackers, get you 50 yards of or 50 feet of twine. That last track, go out all the way 50 foot. Look for that next one. You don't find it there, go this way. Go this way. You don't find that, look for trees, look for rocks, look for laid down trees, look for those burrows. They're somewhere. They didn't disappear. That track is there. Know how far they go. Because if they jump that far, you're looking 5 foot for the next 10 foot. You're never going to find it. Keep going. Keep looking.
They have also been seen wiping out their tracks, covering their own tracks, and also walking backwards in their tracks to
Yep.
throw people off.
Yep.
And if you were on the beach, I don't know how far the water was, but they could also have jumped to the water and the rest of the tracks in the water. Let's see. Just holler when you were going to pull out certain ones.
And CT's doing a lot.
CT is working so hard. Charles says he was watching on Facebook all that time.
Okay, well, all right. That's good. Hey, there was a Mysterious Oklahoma.
Mysterious Oklahoma. Hello.
Hello. I'm glad you're
I almost
here.
rolled right past your name.
Yeah, we're glad you're here. CT's doing some work out there. We can see. Thank you so much.
I recognize now the word.
Angel. Hey.
Hey, Angel.
All right. Hey, Tracker E's here. All right. All right. Jody.
Marcelo's here too. Hey, Jody.
Marcelo. Jody's here.
Jody says, well, now, yeah, we got to read this one out because, you know, it's bragging on us. You two are incredible. Absolutely fantastic tactical teachers. Thank you, Jody.
Thank you, Jody.
Appreciate that very much. Charles is signed up for Tracker A's channel.
Great.
A bunch of people signed up. Tracker A, I haven't seen her in here tonight, but she will be very happy.
And give her some support.
She deserves it, and she has been through the ringer and going through the ringer.
She deserves everyone's support, I would say.
She sure does. CT says, strong lungs, Jerry. Tennessee says, woke us all up.
Oh, the call. And Jody has subbed to Tracker A's channel. Jody has subscribed to Tracker A's channel. We appreciate that. I know she does. And she has a lot of important information to give you.
Christian says the voice of the dog is Bigfoot.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, what'd I do? Okay. Jody Albrecht says, made me jump, war cry.
Oh, good.
CT says, thank you, Jerry and Tracker E. This is valuable, excellent information. Thank you. You're very welcome. We're very blessed and honored that y'all are here to learn.
And that you're here to help us.
Yes. Yes. Neil says, face blue, wide eyes.
Face blue, wide eyes. Okay.
We'll get back to Christian's question about the translucency, but there's that can't be answered very quickly right now. Pray We Must says, wow, I have to watch this one again. So much great information. The hand signal session was awesome. Thank you. You're very welcome.
And that's how we stay safe out there. You know, we don't make the sounds. We already got the motions. So we talk with our signs so that we know. And it helps keep everyone safe out there.
Let's see.
Charles is thanking you, CT.
Lamont Cherie says, what kind of shoes and color of clothes? It depends on your terrain. You want something that will for sure cover your ankles. We're getting into chigger time right now and tick time. And you want it sturdy. You would like them to be as weatherproof as possible. You want them to be black, dark blue, gray, brown, something that will blend into the season and the terrain.
I like black pants, a dark blue shirt or vest, and a green hat or a green toboggan is what I like.
And, you know, also depending on the weather, if you're going to track in snow or, you know, if you're going out, look around out there first and where you're going and see what those colors are. You don't want anything that is shiny, slick, that makes a lot of noise. You don't, some of the nylons are very noisy. You don't want anything too tight, obviously. You don't want something that's going to fall down because of the weight of your weapons. You want socks that are high enough to keep the chiggers off of you. You might even do 2 pair of socks. Always carry extra socks in case your feet get wet, because wet feet will lead can cause you to have cramps later besides the blisters. Make sure you're not wearing a brand new pair of shoes to go tracking. Practice in them a little first and make sure they'll be okay for you. You don't want to be 2 miles out somewhere and you've got horrible blisters and you can't get back, but now you've got to run. Then what?
Also, when you're out there, you're going to high step. Trackers don't walk like normal people. When you walk this way, you're leaving a big trail behind you. And Bigfoots don't walk like that either. They take high steps. High steps. That doesn't leave a trail. And you can hide that way in your number. You can hide your numbers if you all walk in the same step like the Bigfoot will. But when you high step also, you're not getting ticks. Because ticks are waiting for you to rub by to jump on you. When you walk by, they're ready to jump on and go with you. But when you high step and come down, you're stepping and pressing down. There's no ticks that are going to get on you.
Mysterious Oklahoma says, have you ever had a tracker use Kujikiri against El Patón? I don't know what that is.
I don't know. But
That's
no.
not a term we've heard.
So no.
Merle from Costa Rica. Hello, Merle. Glad you're here. Jerry Williams putting our address in there.
Mm-hmm.
CT says that will be good. Christian, talking to Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Pray We Must says, yes, CT, that was awesome. Translating with light speed. Very
Everybody appreciates you, CT.
Truly. Merle says, very interesting. Thank you. Tennessee says, very informative. Thank you. Good night, all. Facebook was good also.
Oh, good.
Good. Thank you. Mysterious Oklahoma's out of here. Good night. Good night, Mysterious. Christian says, face blue, smiling. Viva, Jerry, and Ella. Good night, Christian. Glad you were here.
Yeah. And CT says she won't be here on Monday.
Okay.
So we may have to schedule for Tuesday.
CT says, thank you. I just want more people to know that you two are the... What? Did I miss one? Oh, CT says, thank you. I just want more people to know that you two are the real, the truth that is out there, the only truth. Thank you.
CT.
Appreciate that. There's a few others trying to get the word out, and we're so glad y'all are here trying to get it out with us too. Scott's here. Scott's been mighty quiet.
Scott, I hope you didn't just get here. But if you did,
He's
please
just making sure we know.
watch this again because we went over a lot of terms and tracking techniques and things of preparation. So go back and watch it again. Everybody, actually. And you can even show your kids. You can, your teenagers, your teenage boys or girls, the young ones, start teach them these techniques, teach them terms that they may hear. So you can also communicate in your own home or around your home with your children or grandchildren so that you all can speak to each other without, yelling or bringing some kind of attention to yourself. Use these hand signals and learn it. So if we all know these, whenever we see each other or somewhere and some kid goes like this, we'll start looking,
And when you're yelling or loud with your names and talking to each other out there, these are predators that know how to mimic. You don't want to teach them to mimic you or anyone that you're with because they will be led into a trap, or you will. And that could be your children. If you're out there hollering, Bubba, 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 it won't take a Bigfoot very long to be able to mimic that. And then they're going to holler it and think it's in your voice, and they will go to danger.
And this is why we tell trackers to, when you're out there in the field, only call 2 times that same code word. Whether you don't want to call anybody's name, so you would have a code word like red. If you get lost or you get separated, red. That other person will hear red, but a Bigfoot will hear red also. So on that third call, change it to cloud cover. Something that doesn't sound anything like the other one, because that will also throw the predators off, but your team will know that's you. Because if a predator is in distance and hearing you, you're going to hear the word red coming from another area. They're trying to get you to go this other way. So change it after 2 calls, red, red, and then go to something like cloud cover. Change those words up so you know that it's not a predator on that third call or that fourth call that you keep hearing. And don't use your names out there.
If you've not seen the movie, what was the name of it that we just watched?
Quiet Place 2.
Quiet Place 2. There are a lot of lessons in that movie that we actually teach too, and there's a lot of truth to that movie. That's the way they had to be quiet, practice with it, see what you can do. It's fun. It actually is. It's fun to see how stealthy you can be. Jeremy says, Hallie Toe. Minority Reporter says the footprint was leading out of the water, heavy forest line 40 feet away.
Great hearing from you, Jeremy. And yeah, that 40-foot, if you could have a drone, Minority Report, look at that creek. You're going to find those footprints in the bottom of where they're going, where they're crossing. You're going to see it's a well-used path.
I think it was in this case, it was a beach, was it a lake or an ocean? What was it?
Well, either way, use a drone. They will still go out and come out that way or come the other way, but you'll be able to see which way they're coming in, coming out, and where they're going.
Tracker A is here, checking in. Got a lot of new subscribers
All right,
tonight.
Tracker A, we're glad you're here.
They all love you. We all love you.
And also, Tracker A, if you weren't here for the first part, I know you know both of this. Maybe some of the track in hand terms that we were using, but we're just asking everybody to go back over this if they weren't here from the beginning, and because we hope you didn't miss anything, and if you didn't, it's just a refresher.
And we would love to someday be able to track with our trackers, and all together that would
the rest of them we have tracked with a lot of our
yes. But I mean, like someday would be really neat to get a group of a bunch of y'all together for all of y'all to be able to meet, the ones that do the call-ins.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's it with the comments.
Okay, so we'll have some closing words, and then we'll venture out with this, and we'll end it.
Okay. Father, we thank you just for being here, giving us this opportunity to be here. We thank you for your hand of protection over everyone. And Lord, we thank you for the peace that passes all understanding that you give to all of us in these times. In Jesus' name,
amen. I was just going to say one quick thing, which I forgot. We also want to do a shout out to Renelle and to Jason, also to Josh and Carlton and Tracker M and Tracker D and Tracker A that we want to do a shout out to Tracker A anyway. But these are some of the people who asked us to visit and look at some oddities in their area, which we were happy to do. We got to stop in today and see Tracker M on our way back in from another thing that we had to do. We just wanted to say hello and shout out to Sabrina.
Could we catch up real fast on what Tracker M said for his update, or just the last? We'll do a tracker update later.
Okay. So we're not gonna be here in 2 days. Maybe on 3 days.
We'll put up an announcement.
Only because we have another tracking group coming in, and we're going to be showing them some things around our area.
Very exciting.
And
say who or don't say?
No, not right now.
We won't say who.
But yeah, and but we're gonna show them some of the places where I've grown up, just to look over some places, my family's land in some of these areas. Um, but we just want to show them some things. So we won't be on in 2 days because we'll be with them and we'll be in different spots. But we're going to try to be back on Sunday, which is the 3rd.
Sunday's the 5th.
Oh, on the 5th.
So we may be back on Saturday.
What, today's Wednesday?
Mhm.
Oh, so we will be here
We just gained a day.
in 2 days. We gained a day. We're a day ahead. Hey, I love that.
But if we track with him, it'll be on Saturday.
Yeah, we will be tracking on Saturday with another group. We want to help. We just want them to see some of the things that are around here, and it's all going to be safe because we've been there before. Been there about 2 weeks ago or something like that. So it's not a big
We'll
deal.
probably show on Sunday.
Not a big deal. That is. So we're going to actually have a show on the 3rd. And that'll be at 0505 again.
The day after tomorrow.
The day after. On Friday. Today's Wednesday, right?
This is Wednesday. Friday's the 3rd. Saturday's when we're tracking.
Yeah, Friday's the 3rd. We can have a
So
show
we'll
on
do another
Friday.
show on Friday. Okay. We'll be
So,
here too.
okay. We'll be back in 2 days.
With lesson number 2.
Okay, so lesson number. Oh. What the heck? Hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we will be back in 2 days now. We gained a day. So we'll be back on Friday, 0505. More training. We got a lot of new trackers. We just touching the surface. We got a lot more to go over. And we'll get to do even more of this before we go out in the field this weekend. As a
We hope
refer,
that the audio is much better for you.
Yeah. And it's a refresher course for our trackers, but for some of the people who are new to the channel, may not know our techniques or things that we do out there, we're going to share all that information with you, so that if you do go and do some searching or some researching, you'll be more safer out there. Also, the Bigfoot documentary, $101. It's got all this information and more. Oh, I know where it's at. The Bigfoot documentary, $101. Cashapp is in the description. Also, if you want to help the channel out, help us out, because sometimes we just got to get up and go, and the only thing we ask is, like, do we have the gas money to get there and get back safely? We already got our gear ready to go and everything. And we do have a Patreon account now. It's also in the description, or a Cash App, PayPal. We will be back in 2 days with more training, new tracker training. We want to share more of the techniques, more of the ways we do things so that you're safe out there and know what to look for. We'll have the examples of what to look for out there also. So, everybody, have a great night. We will see you again in 2 days. Friday, 0505 on the 3rd, I believe.
Yes.
And everybody have a great night.
As Charles said, good night, warriors.
Good night, warriors.